Hello friends, how are you doing? In this chapter, The Lost Spring, let us have a quick introduction about the chapter and then let's go through its summary. Before we start, let us learn about the author. Anis Chung is an Indian author, journalist and columnist for newspapers in India and abroad, whose most known work, Unveiling India, was a chronicle of the lives of women in India. She has written many books like Unveiling India, Night of the New Moon, Encounters with Muslim Women in India, Seven Sisters, Breaking the Silence, Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, Beyond the Courtyard. What does the author want to depict in this chapter? What is all about the chapter is? Lost Spring examines the sufferings and poor conditions of street children who are denied the chance to go to school and are pushed into labor at a young age. Thus, it primarily discusses the extreme poverty and customs that doom young kids to a life of servitude. Before going for a summary, let us focus on the introduction of the chapter. Introduction: the heartbreaking situation of poor children who are deprived of the delights of childhood because of the socio-economic conditions that predominate in this man-made world is described in the short story Lost Spring. These kids are deprived of the chance to go to school and are pushed into labor at a young age. Anis Chung advocates for the government to strictly enforce the laws prohibiting child labor and for the elimination of child labor through education of children. The appeal is for a stop to child exploitation so that kids can enjoy their springtime, means childhood days that feel good under their feet. Let's go through the chapter summary. The chapter is mainly divided into two parts. Part 1: Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. The writer's impression of the poor ragpickers' lives are described in this first section. The ragpickers left Dhaka and established a community near Simhapuri in Delhi. Storms had destroyed their homes and farms. They had travelled to the major city in search of work. They are indigent. Every morning, the author observes Sahib scouring her neighborhood for gold. For the elderly, garbage is a means of survival. For children, it is a source of fascination. The kids find 1 or 2 coins from it. These folks have goals and aspirations, but they are unsure of how to get there. They are unable to access several things like tennis, shoes, and other items of the sort. Later, Sahib enters a tea shop where he may get all the meals and 800 rupees, but his freedom has been restricted by his employment. Part 2: I want to drive a car. The second section focuses on Mukesh's life, who comes from a family of Bengal producers. The glass blowing sector is Firozabad's most well-known industry. The rule that outlaws children labor is unknown in this area, where more than 20,000 miners work in this industry. The living situation and working environment are both appalling. These kids become blind as adults from living in filthy quarters and working next to hot furnaces. They are so burdened by debt that they are unable to think clearly or identify a solution to escape this situation. Their path to progress is blocked by bureaucrats, middlemen, cops, and politicians. The ladies in the home accept it as their destiny and simply adhere to custom. Mukesh stands out among the other people present. He aspires to work as a mechanic. Although the garage is far from his house, he will walk there to fulfill his desire. I hope you like our video and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thanks.